What's up, everybody? You are tuned in to the Cris
And on.
podcast, episode 227, Big Energy Monday. Hope everybody's having a good day, whatever you're doing. You're at work, you're at home. We appreciate you tapping into the live stream, listening on the playback. We appreciate you too. Leave a comment in the comments section. Got a few things to speak on today. Got a new head coach in Pittsburgh. We got some NBA news, some boxing news. Also, we're going to talk about the AFC NFC Championship game, what we saw, and also play a little who has a franchise quarterback game with Maul. Get his opinion on that. Before we get into that, Maul, how you feeling, sir?
Feel good, man. Feel good. Another dope championship weekend, with football, you know what I mean? Got our Super Bowl contenders. Fight week here, so I'm super excited about that, man. And alive, breathing, feeling good, man. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. You know what I'm saying? Just chilling, you know what I'm saying? Had a off day yesterday, chill with the lady.
Nice, 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 nice. How's she doing? She good?
She good. She's straight. She at work now, but
So she's not good no more.
no, she
Nah, I'm just messing.
love her new job. So
Shout out to Chris's wifey. Shout out to her.
yeah. All right, man. Let's talk about it real quick. Shout out the show, but Mike McCarthy is the new head coach of the Steelers. Seen a lot of people's unhappiness with this signing. A lot of people think there's going to be the same old with this team. Have a solid record, get to the playoffs, but really do nothing, beyond that. Never really pose a threat in the AFC. I do think this was a safe hire by the Rooneys. I think that they wanted to go with somebody that was experienced instead of, stepping out of the box, which usually they tend to do. They go with a young head coach. The few head coaches that they went with, they've usually tend to go with the younger head coach because they like to keep the head coach around for years. So I was a little surprised by the Mike McCarthy hiring. I thought that they would go with a Shula or, somebody in that moment, maybe a Clint Kubiak, somebody young like that who can come in, be the head coach for a little bit, and still have some formidable years ahead of them. Going with Mike McCarthy, who's an older, seasoned head coach, I thought this was a little safe hire for them. But we'll see what Mike McCarthy could do at this role. I can't imagine him doing any better than Mike Tomlin. But hey, we've been surprised before. So, what were your thoughts on this hire? Do you think this was a good move, bad move, or move?
It was very uninspiring to me. This is like it kind of feels like the Steelers are just stuck in a semblance of that they just cannot wrap their heads around just now. I hate to use the word tanking, but kind of set themselves up for the future. You know what I mean? I think they're so stuck in trying to remain relevant in the sense of that them competing and them being this kind of the middle of the road team that always finds its way in the playoffs, but ends up, losing in the wild card rounds. Is something that this fan base wants. Like, I think this fan base wants a total reset. And then it's kind of like the outlier of what they normally do with their head coaches. Like they get like this guy that comes out of nowhere, who's a tough-minded cat, who can galvanize the team base and build a culture in his mindset for the future. And it worked. It worked with Bill Cowher. Obviously, it worked with Mike Tomlin. You got a championship out of it. This seems like it's a hire to kind of appease Aaron Rodgers in a sense to try to convince him to come back another year. Look, Mike McCarthy, is he a bad coach? No. Is he a coach that has won a Super Bowl a long, long time ago? Yes. Has he had some winning seasons recently? Yes. But is this what this team needs currently? No. I think they have a lot of players that are starting to hit past their prime. I think with this draft class that's coming up with all these quarterbacks, I think this would be the perfect time to kind of reset what you're kind of looking for. Obviously, you want to still compete, but in a sense, you know what you're kind of getting yourself into. Like, you know what I mean? You're kind of building yourself up for the future, and this doesn't set up for that. So Mike McCarthy doesn't scream that. It doesn't scream youth. And I think a lot of the teams that you see now, they're going in a youthful manner. You see the Ravens with them getting Jesse Minter. We've seen other coaches that have been hired where they want the younger minds because we see what it works. We see Sean McVay. Sean McVay was once that. Kyle Shanahan was once that. They're in the prime of their coaching careers. And we're starting to see these older guys kind of like fade out. So it's just kind of like they're in the middle of the pack where, they got this older mindset coach who's, how old is McCarthy? Was he like 60, 66, 65 or something like that.
Something like
You
that.
expecting 18 years out of McCarthy? Like, I don't. You know what I mean? This kind of just seems like he's kind of like not even a stopgap, but just kind of like a 3 to 5 year head coach. You'll probably get some winning seasons like you have been, but you'll be in the middle of the road, a 10-7 type of team, and you'll make the playoffs.
62.
62. Well, either way, it's just, you know, you guys know what I mean. It's very uninspiring, and I don't know what they're doing. So if you're a Steelers fan, get ready for similar seasons that you guys been looking at for the past 5, 6, 7 years. So.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what kind of coordinators he gets. Are they going to be younger coordinators, and maybe they may be facilitating that way? Maybe, you know, they use Mike McCarthy to kind of be the stopgap for 3 to some odd years, and then maybe one of their coordinators become the next guy. I don't know, but it's going to be interesting to see what they go from here, because regardless, they got to get the quarterback thing right. That's the problem with the Steelers. You know what I'm saying? They got to get that right, and they haven't had that right since they had Big Ben. Big Ben was their last, you know, when he was healthy and he was, you know, one of the better quarterbacks in the league. That was the last time that we all felt the Steelers were a threat. You know what I'm saying? But ever since he had his career went down, and they just been searching and trying to pull for a quarterback, and they haven't found it yet. So until they get that right, it don't matter who's going to be the head coach, really. You know, even if they, you know, try to find a Sam Darnold or a Baker Mayfield type, you know, they got to find something to get that right. Because even with Aaron Rodgers, I know people would say, "Oh, yeah, Aaron Rodgers," but Aaron Rodgers is older. I'm talking about a guy who had potential, but it just didn't work out for him. And maybe if they get the right coaching, like you see with a Sam Darnold or a Baker Mayfield, maybe a Kyler Murray, maybe a Malik Willis, I don't know. But if they get somebody like that, they can come in and possibly be that for them. Maybe the Steelers could take a step forward. But like I said, I don't care who the coach is going to be. It can be a Chris Shula, it can be whatever. If they don't get the quarterback position right, it's going to be the same stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, this hire doesn't scream that you want to get Mac Jones. This hire screams that you want to try to convince Aaron Rodgers to come back for one more year and then see what happens next year. It's kind of like you're just kicking the can down the road. You know what I mean? Like it's like they just have a hard time of just gripping the fact that maybe it's best for them to kind of just take a step back and reassess this organization and what it needs for the future. Like you got DK Metcalf, you got TJ Watt, you got some other guys, Jalen Ramsey. Like these are all older guys that kind of want to win now. You're not in that position. Like the AFC, like, look, listen here. I know the AFC this year seemed like it had a down year, but honestly, it's going to be a lot better next year. Like, because cats are going to get more healthier. Cats are going to kind of reassess. Teams got new head coaches, new coordinators. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so we see with the Chargers, they officially announced Mike McDaniel. I'm pretty sure we're probably going to talk about that here in a little bit, but it's just like, all those are positive directions. What does this hire scream? This hire doesn't scream you're going in the right direction. This kind of just screams like you're just standing still in a pile of mess that you know that you're in, but you refuse to get out of. It's like you're kind of like in quicksand. You don't know how to get out of it, and you're just slowly sinking, you know?
Yeah. Like I said, they got to figure some stuff out. I think it's, you know, when you have older owners, they kind of get stuck in their ways and the way they want to do things. So they've been around the Rooneys have been around for a long time. So until they, you know, get some, I don't know who their GM is and, you know, who the people in the front office are, but they got to get there. Cause like I said, it starts with the quarterback position. If they don't get that right, it's gonna be 10-7, 9-9, 9-8.
And it's like, I'm not saying you're saying this, but them being older owners is not an excuse for them to make. Like, come on, like every team is established.
I'm just saying, like,
I'm not saying that's what you're saying. I'm just saying, like, if anybody uses that, that's not
these guys get set in their ways, is what I'm saying. Like, and I'm not saying that's an excuse, because you should always be a forward thinker as an owner. You see the direction that this league is a trending league. It trends towards what's popular. If they see the league is going towards offense, which they did, they went towards offense. As we see now, it's kind of shifting towards defense. Now these defensive coordinators are getting head coaching jobs because the defenses have caught up to offense. You know what I'm saying? Per se, you know what I'm saying? It's not a lot of. It's not a lot of close to 5,000-yard quarterbacks these past 3-4 years. Like it's been a couple. Like it used to be like 4 or 5 of them that was close to 5,000 yards because these defenses have caught up. No more throwing over your head because everybody plays, cover two high safety.
I think it's more so that I think low key this might be the most balanced the NFL has been because I think there's a lot of creative offenses. I think we see some creative young defensive minds. I just think we're heading at an impasse where it's just like two of these are clashing, and I love that because I don't think we've seen a balance like this because even with these great defenses, like that Rams team, which we're going to talk about later, they were dicing that Seattle defense up. They were, especially in that second half. So. We got some creative young minds in the NFL. I just don't understand why you keep hiring regurgitated coaches that we already know who they are, and it's no disrespect to them. Like I feel like Mike McCarthy would be in a better situation if it was a team that was ready for a championship run. You know what I'm saying? Like they had all the pieces. This ain't it. This you need some youth. You need to reestablish a new culture. You need some young minds to kind of like get this organization from stop looking like they're in the early 2000s, like catch up to 2025. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree. All right, man. You got any NBA news?
Yeah. We got a couple things. Nothing crazy. Let me grab some of the pieces up. So first up, we'll start with the Anthony Davis situation. Obviously, there were reports that Rich Paul was kind of pushing the Dallas Mavericks to make a trade to get Anthony Davis out of a Dallas Mavericks uniform and trying to push him to a trade. But there have also been contradicting reports that Anthony Davis doesn't see eye to eye with that. So my question to you is, what should Anthony Davis want? What should the Mavericks want? Should they try to push for a trade, or should Anthony Davis
on the Dallas side? Hell yeah, you want to trade because my man can't stay healthy. So you try to get as much as you can for him. You need to be rebuilding anyway around Cooper Flag. Let's just call it what it is. That's what they need to do. You might need to be trying to fill calls for Kyrie. I'm sorry,
they should.
It's time for a whole full span. You already messed this up with the whole Luka thing.
Mm-hmm.
Try to get these fans somewhat excited for the future of Cooper Flag and building around him. That's what your next move is.
Yeah.
Get rid of Kyrie, send Kyrie somewhere else. Hell, you send him Houston, and I don't know, send him somewhere.
Minnesota,
send him somewhere.
Detroit.
We can help somebody win a championship because that's where he's at in his career right now. But trying to do this whole thing, you trying to keep AD, trying to see, when Kyrie come back, we might have no, man, no, just rebuild. That's what Dallas mind stays. There's a lot of good players coming out in college, man. We see it every day, man. There's been some really good players this season that have been balling out. So you can pair Cooper Flag up with one of these young cats coming out in college and maybe get some veterans around them, and you might be cooking and grease in a couple of years. But right now, you need to trade AD, try to trade Kyrie, and move on.
No, I totally agree with you on that, Larry. It's a 3-layer question because I understand Rich's side, I understand AD's side, and if I'm the Mavericks, I totally agree with everything Cris said. I think you got a Hail Mary of a layup with you being able to acquire the number 1 overall pick, which we all know what happened with that. But the reality is you were gifted Cooper Flag. So that should have given you the green light to restart. That gives this fan base a player that obviously this fan base will never get over Luka, because I'm still seeing Mavs fans saying that Luka will be back in 2028 when they got to get over that. Like, I think that's disrespectful to Cooper Flag and the players that are there. I get the love and affection that you have for Luka, but it's time to move on. If that were to resurface, then worry about it. Then currently, this is your team. You need to root for that said team. Luka's with the Lakers. Keep it at that. The other layer with Anthony Davis is I understand the fact of why he would want to stay, because of the proven the trade right factor. Because I get it. It's totally unfair to Anthony Davis, but the reality is he will always that trade will always be part of his career. So in his mindset, he wants to prove that this trade was worthy of that I am worthy to be traded for Luka Doncic. That's pretty much what the trade was. Luka for AD and a first round pick. And no disrespect for Max Christie, because he is hooping and I miss him in the Lakers jersey. But that is the reality of that trade. So I understand him in the fact that he wants to prove to all the doubters that trade wasn't as the worst trade in history. I'm sure he doesn't want that to be on his legacy. So I understand that. But I understand Rich Paul. Like, the best thing for his client currently is we need to put you in a better situation so we can get the best out of the rest of your career. And you're just not fit for this team. So I understand all three layers. Let's see what happens. But I think at the end of the day, I think Anthony Davis will probably get what he wants. So next up, Brian Windhorst. Obviously, we know LeBron James and the Lakers are currently at an impasse. Windhorst kind of laid out the three options for next season for him. Obviously, it's pretty obvious. Obviously, 1, stay on the Lakers for a pay cut. 2, leave in free agency. Or 3, retire. So I'm gonna ask you this question: if you had to rank each one of those from most likely to least likely, how would you rank those three options for him?
Say that again, my bad.
So first option is stay on the Lakers for a pay cut. 2 is leave in free agency for another team. Or 3, ride off into the sunset and retire.
What's the first one again? Trade.
Stay on the Lakers for a pay cut.
And the second one, free agency. That's
third is retire. Most likely to least likely for you.
The least likely is the first one.
Take the pay cut. I agree.
He ain't taking no damn pay cut.
I agree.
The second one would probably be the second one. I think the most likely is the last one.
Retire? You think he'll retire?
It's not. This seems like a year for LeBron. Like, he don't even seem like he want to play basketball anymore.
I just think I think with LeBron is he doesn't have the power anymore, and it just doesn't suit his mindset. He's been in that mindset where he's had control of everything organizationally, trades, all that. He doesn't have that power no more. He's 40 plus years old, man. And I'll say this: I don't think he'll retire. I think he's gonna go out one more year. I think if I had to rank it, I think least likely, I think is Lakers pay cut. I totally agree with you. 2 is retire, and 3, I think is that he'll leave in free agency for a team that, whether it's the Cleveland Cavaliers, whether it's the New York Knicks, whether it's the Los Angeles Clippers, whether it's the Golden State Warriors. I could see that. More likely.
Maybe we get Giannis and LeBron in New York next year.
That will never happen. That's not going to happen. I'm sorry. And all those pipe dreams of the Warriors trying to get Giannis and LeBron, and that's not going to happen. Good luck with that. Good luck with that.
Maybe we get LeBron and Curry in Charlotte.
No. If we see LeBron and Curry, it's going to be in the Golden State Warriors. I low-key think I wouldn't be surprised if he goes to the Clippers or the Warriors. I think those are probably his first 2 options. I think, and then Cleveland, because I think he wants to stay as close to his family in LA. He has a lot of things going on in LA. I could see the Clippers trying to swing for that. I could see the Warriors trying to do that. He'll still be close to home. Cleveland, I think, will be a distant third, and then the Knicks will be probably close to the Cavs situation. That's kind of how I view it, but obviously we'll see. Next up, seems like the Pelicans are trying to, are very aggressive with a Ja Morant trade. Per Scoop B, the terms of the trade currently are Grizzlies receive Jordan Poole and DeJounte Murray, who's coming off the Achilles injury, and then the Pelicans will receive Ja Morant and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. Obviously, there are rumors that the only thing that's hindering this trade from becoming fruition is a first-round pick. What are your thoughts, man? Should they get this trade done? Do you see this being a good fit for Ja going to New Orleans?
No, New Orleans is fine for Ja.
Man, I don't know about that either, but
I think that's kind of a lateral move.
Yeah, I think it's a worse move. I would, if I'm Ja, I wouldn't want to go there. If I'm the Pelicans, I don't know why I'm trying to trade for Ja.
Yeah, no disrespect to New Orleans. I heard it's a beautiful city and all its glory and all that. I'm just talking for John Morant.
Yeah. No,
I
I don't
don't
like it.
know.
I don't like it. I don't see the fit, man. I don't see that fit.
John
Like,
need to go to Utah.
I don't know where John needs some structure. Like, I would love to see him with an Ime Aduka. I would love to see him with like a Tyronn Lue, like somebody like that. Like now, would he fit those teams? I don't know. But I think he needs that kind of head coach who can hold him accountable. You know what I mean? Like, who's not going to take the BS. And I think who I think he would garner respect for. Like, he doesn't respect his head coach currently right now. I don't think he respects the situation that he's in right now. So I think he needs something like that. But this trade, I wouldn't do for neither side. And last but not least, Derrick Rose. He had his jersey retired over the weekend. His number 1 jersey was raised to the Raptors this weekend. So my question to you is, give me some players who you think their careers would have been a whole lot different if they never had, career, altering injuries. It could be any sport.
My number 1 is Penny Hardaway.
Mm-hmm.
That was my favorite player growing up. Like, Penny had everything. He could shoot. Mm-hmm. He could take you on the dribble. He could pass. He was everybody looked at Magic Johnson as an anomaly because he was 6'9" and he could dribble. Kobe, but Penny was the same way.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he was 6'7", 6'8", can dribble like a point guard, shoot, take it. He had it all. And when he had to be a scorer, he could be a scorer. Shaq Levy, he was putting up 30, 40 points a game. Like, and then he had that unfortunate ankle injury, and it just went. He had that surgery that he said he should have never got, and it just messed his career up. So he's always going to be my number 1. Number 2, Grant Hill. Grant Hill was amazing. He was that stretch 4 that everybody be talking about. He was that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he had that point. I'd say that LeBron is close to Grant Hill. That point forward type deal.
Oh, yeah.
He could dribble. He could take the ball up, do all that. He could shoot too. Like,
run the offense.
Grant had a real smooth game too. Like, and people don't know Grant Hill was that guy for a minute there. That Grant Hill drink Sprite commercials, and same thing with Penny with the little Penny commercials and all that. Them dudes they were them, and they just Brandon Roy, another one, career derailed by injuries. You know what I'm saying? If you want to go football, Bo Jackson. And Bo Jackson then hurt his hip. He'd be one of the greatest running backs to ever play the game.
Mm-hmm.
I know he loved baseball, but he was better at football.
Yeah.
That's why Al Davis wanted to get rid of Marcus Allen. Marcus Allen are all players. Marcus Allen was great. And he wanted to get rid of Bo because Bo was different.
Yeah.
And he's never had that hip injury. Yep. Oh, that's a good one, Marcus Lattimore from South Carolina. If he never had those knee injuries, Marcus Lattimore was crazy. Percy Harvin.
Yeah. He was literally Tyreek Hill before Tyreek Hill.
Percy Harvin.
It really was Tyreek Hill.
He was the cog in that Florida offense.
Mm-hmm.
Say what you want about Anthony Hernandez and all these other No. Percy Harvin made Tim Tebow's life hell of a lot easier. So that's just the name of a few.
Oh yeah, like I can name more. Obviously, Derrick Rose is definitely up there. I think Derrick Rose,
of course. Yeah,
Brandon Roy for me is top tier. Like he would have been, he was up there as far as like one of my favorite players, and he competed well with Kobe. Like he was one of his biggest one-on-one type of players that stood toe-to-toe with him. Like Brandon Roy was definitely one of those guys. Like Yao Ming, he had the foot injuries and stuff like that. Bill Walton, like hell, Larry Bird with the back injury. You know what I mean? Obviously, he had a great career, but imagine what his career would have looked like if he never had those back injuries and stuff like that. So, man, it's a slew of players, man, and honestly, it's just a testament to Derrick Rose and what he meant to that Chicago Bulls community and that organization for him to get to raise the Raptors and stuff. I still believe to this day, if he never tore his ACL, I think they win that championship that year. I think they were the best team that year, and I don't even think it was close. And just the impact that he had, man. Derrick Rose is he was definitely one of the most eye-pleasing players to watch on that screen. Definitely a fan favorite, not just for Bulls organizations, but for all over the NBA teams.
If you want to bring one to baseball, Mike Trout.
Yeah, Mike Trout. Yeah. Mike Trout.
The
Yeah.
injury derailed his career. Mike Trout was that
Mhm.
dude for a minute there. The way y'all look at Aaron Judge, they was looking at Mike Trout. The
What
same
about what
way.
about what about boxing? Was there a boxer that he had some injuries that it kind of derailed his career?
If only one I could think of is what's his name? Paul Williams.
Oh
Paul
yeah,
Williams. He was on his way, even though he got knocked out by Sergio Mora.
Martinez.
Martinez. Yeah, yeah. He had that injury, that car injury that messed
Yeah, oh,
up.
yeah, because he's in a wheelchair right now. Yeah, yeah.
Andrew Luck is a good one too, Mark.
Joe Theismann.
Joe Theismann, yeah, he was great too.
Alex
But
Smith wasn't bad too. He had a decent career before his leg injury. All that. I know he got
yeah,
checked
yeah,
from
yeah,
Chiefs
yeah,
and stuff like that.
yeah. I can't think of nobody else boxing wise that like injuries like messed him up.
Yeah.
Only one I could think of was Paul Williams. That's it.
Okay. I thought it'd be a good question to ask with Derrick Rose. But shout out to Derrick Rose. Congratulations.
Shout out to him.
Man. Congratulations to you, my brother. Yeah, and that's it. That's all I got for NBA.
Sure. All right, man. We'll take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
Introduce yourself to Magnet, the ultimate sports drink. Are you ready to take your performance to the next level? Do you want a sports drink that eliminates the muscle cramps and fatigue when working out or training? Meet Magnet, the sports drink designed for athletes who refuse to settle for mediocrity. It's power-packed electrolytes and rehydrates and restores balance with their scientifically formulated blend with magnesium that fights fatigue and boosts endurance. It has natural ingredients made with real fruit extracts and no artificial colors or flavors because your body deserves the best. It has delicious flavors like mixed fruit and watermelon that keep you revitalized and ready for action. It will boost your performance with essential vitamins and minerals. Magnet fuels your workouts, helping you crush your goals. Join the Magnet movement whether you're training, competing, or simply staying active. Magnet is your go-to refreshment for peak performance. You can order it now on our direct link at drinkmagnet.com. Also, use promo code Cris and Mall to get $5 off your purchase. So don't wait. Again, that promo code is Cris and Mall to get $5 off your purchase. Get Magnet, push your limits, fuel your passion.
All right, Ma, I want to play a game called Who Has a Franchise Quarterback? So you let me know if they have a franchise quarterback or are they still searching for one.
Mm-hmm.
First up, Cleveland Browns, who shot to Shador Sanders, Pro Bowl.
Yeah. I'm gonna say yeah. I think Shador Sanders can be that franchise guy, but it's kind of like I'm in between with it because I don't know if they're gonna fully commit to him. I think they have a franchise style quarterback, so I'm gonna say yes, but we'll see if they fully commit to him.
Jacksonville Jaguars.
I got to see one more year, man. I really do, man. I think he's headed in the right direction. I'll be nice to him since the year he had. I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna say yes right now, but I'm still question mark that. Put an asterisk on that.
The Houston Texans.
No, get the fuck out of here, bro. He got to go.
Yeah.
They do not have a franchise quarterback. Sorry, they need to. They'll give him one more year, but they need to look elsewhere.
I know he only had 1 year so far, but Tennessee Titans.
No, yeah, I think Cam Ward. Yeah, we see it within him. He just didn't have no O-line. He didn't have great weapons and stuff like that. But yeah, I think I like with who they hired as a coach and stuff like that. I think they'll be cool. I like the direction they're going.
The Denver Broncos.
This one's tough because you got to respect what Bo Nix did. Like he definitely has some inconsistencies. I will say yes, but knowing Sean Payton, I think if he can find somebody to upgrade that position, I think he'll do it. So. I'm gonna slightly say yes.
Okay.
Slightly.
LA Chargers.
Talent-wise, yes, but I don't know, man. I have a hard time to see if he can't get it done this year with Mike McDaniels. I don't think he's a franchise quarterback.
So you want to put yes for now?
No, I'll say yes for now.
The Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, he won you a Super Bowl. Yeah, you got you a franchise quarterback. I know he has his inconsistencies, but he's a franchise. If he can win you a Super Bowl, yeah.
The Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, Dak Prescott is a franchise style quarterback. I know he has his question marks in the playoffs, but come on, man. You can't sit here and say the yards that he throws that he's not, that there wouldn't be other teams clamoring for Dak Prescott. So yeah, they got themselves a franchise quarterback.
The Washington Commanders.
Yes, Jaden Daniels. Yes, he is a franchise quarterback. Now, obviously, the health problems do concern you a little bit, but I don't think he'll be a RG3 rerun. I think he'll push through and he'll be fine.
The New York Giants.
I like Jackson Dart. I really do like Jackson Dart. The only thing that scares me is the concussions, but I will say yes, they do have their franchise quarterback.
The Carolina Panthers.
No, they do not have their franchise quarterback. I try to like Bryce Young, but I don't know. I think they can upgrade that position.
The Atlanta Falcons.
No, they do not have their franchise quarterback. I think with Michael Penix and those knee injuries, I think that's a very scary situation. Kirk Cousins showed that he played better than Michael Penix. So, and we all know Kirk Cousins is getting getting close to retirement. So, no, they need to look for their franchise quarterback.
And last but not least, the New Orleans Saints.
I like what I saw from Tyler Shuck. I'm gonna still say no. But I do like what he's got. I think he deserves another year. If he can show some promise next year, then I'll say yes. But right now, I'm gonna say no.
For sure. All right, well. All right, man. Let's do our big US short five picks. All right, man, what you got?
So for tonight, man, I got the 76ers +2 over the Hornets, man. I like what I've been seeing from the 76ers, even though they lost over the weekend to the Knicks. It was a really good game, but I think the 76ers have been playing a lot better. So I'm gonna take the +2. I got my Lakers -1 against the Bulls. I just think they're just a better team, better matchup. And then obviously we want that re-up, especially what happened last year with that buzzer beater situation that kind of affected us in our playoff seeding. So I think the Lakers will get their get back. And then I'm gonna take the over 224.5 with the Blazers and Celtics. Man, this is gonna be a chucking three situation. So I'm definitely taking over on that.
Yeah, man. I'm taking the Magic +6 over the Cavs. I'm gonna take the Sixers +2 over the Hornets. And actually it's 1.5 now. It went down. And then I'm taking, where was it at? Just had it. I thought the Hawks was playing. And switched it up. Well, I'll take your Lakers -1 over the Bulls.
For sure.
All right, man. If you go to any of our social media platforms, you could see the BetUS link. Click on it, sign up, get 125% signing bonus plus 10% gamblers insurance. That's 3 risk-free bets on your first 3 deposits. So that means if you bet $100 and you lose on your first 3 deposits, you keep your money. So you can keep your money or you can win you some money. So go over to BetUS, sign up, tell them Cris Talamall sent you. And that does it for our BetUS short five picks. All right, man. Let's go to some boxing news. Before we get into doing a preview of Shakur and Teofimo, because it is fight week. The fight goes down this Saturday. I want to talk about the fight on Saturday. We had Andy Cruz, who everybody, he's been talked about a lot. He had an illustrious amateur career. He was a gold medalist for Cuba. Him and Keyshawn Davis have a story history because he beat Keyshawn Davis in the finals. And everybody been talking about Andy Cruz, and we've seen it. He's had some big fights for only having 6 pro fights. He's had some big fights with some fighters, and he's done really well. Had to knock out his last fight in the 5th round. But he had a big fight with Raymond Matula, who was the champion at 135 IBF. And, a lot of people was going into this thinking Andy Cruz was going to, be able to beat Matula. But, man, this was a great fight. And, to start off January with this fight was a great decision because it's a fight of the year candidate. Like these boys was going back and forth. This was boxing at its purest, at its height. You know what I'm saying? When you watch these two different styles, but just going back and forth, with Andy Cruz and his, using that jab and moving around. He's more of a move around guy, combinations here and there, whereas Matula is just a straightforward, I'm coming at you. I'm going to try to hit you with this right hand, body shots. Like, it was just a great chess match from round 1 to round 12. And I just think at the end, I felt like Andy Cruz stopped using his jab at the end. And in that 11th and 12th round, I just think Matula just won those rounds. They took it. That's how close the fight was. It was just, I feel like Andy Cruz kind of went on cruise control, because, no pun intended, but he went on cruise control because I just think he thought he was winning the fight. And I just think that he didn't try to take it in the 11th and 12th round. And I think Matula did. And so I gave the fight 115, 113. These judges, man, let me tell you something. These judges are horrible. Like, I'm not mad at the judge that said 114, 114, because that's how close the fight was. So if they had said it was a draw, I would have got it. You could sell me on the draw. Okay, we could see this fight again. Even the 116, 112, because that was close to my 115, 113. So maybe you thought Matula won the extra round. That's fine too. But Max DeLuca, that 118, 110, I don't know what fight you was watching, sir. That was terrible. And that's the problem with boxing. Y'all be messing up these great fights because y'all do these judgments like this. Even the fight before that, the Jesse Hart and what's his name, Malik Cole. Like, Cole in the beginning, he had like in the 7th round, he had Jesse Hart right where he wanted. Jesse Hart is an older fighter. He's the one who, I think he was the last one who knocked out Bernard Hopkins. He knocked him out of the ring. But Jesse Hart's an older fighter. He's 36 years old. You could tell he's a little older. He's a little longer than 2. He's lost the last few fights. And Cole had him right where he wanted him. And he was pissing me off, Mark, because he just kept looking like he would run up on him and he wouldn't throw nothing. And he had hurt Jesse Hart in the 7th round. He had him hurt. He did not capitalize, and he let Jesse Hart get his second win. And Jesse Hart did just enough to win that fight. I thought Jesse Hart won that fight. They gave that fight to Cole. And like unanimously decision. Which was terrible. I think one of the judges had it a draw. But the other judges, I don't know what they saw. And that was like, what is this?
Yeah.
But the Matula Cruz fight, it was a great fight. But that 118, 110, I heard that and I was like, what was he watching? But shout out to those brothers. Andy Cruz should not hold his head down. He deserves to be right there with the Keyshawn Davises. Anybody who's at 135, that Andy Cruz should be right there. He proved a lot. Matula, I've never really sat back and watched Matula, but he's made a fan of me. I like dude. Dude got that pressuring style. I think him and like Lamont Peterson or Lamont Roach, I mean, I think that'd be a great fight. Because them dudes will go at it. Like, Matula's one of them fighters, if he wasn't getting in trouble, I think him and Gervonta Davis would put on the show.
Yeah.
Like, that's how good Matula is. Like, he showed me a lot. Dude is nice. You know what I'm saying? So 135 could be in a good spot. He said he wants to fight the winner of the Teofimo and Shakur Stevenson. He don't matter at 135, 140, whatever. He said he wants that fight next. We'll see if they take that fight. But shout out to Andy Cruz, shout out to Matula, man. That was a great fight, man. It was engaging from round 1 to round 12. I advise anybody who wants to go back and watch it if you haven't watched it. All right, man, let's talk about this fight this week, man. We got Shakur Stevenson, we got Teofimo, and, a lot of people are thinking that this fight could be similar to that fight, that Matula and Cruz fight, because they both, for those fighters, have kind of similar styles to these two fighters right here. And we all know what this fight represents, man. This is a stepping stone to greatness right here. Both of these guys, even though they are solidified, they could really solidify themselves in history as pound for pound. Now that Terrence Crawford is gone, he's retired. Canelo Alvarez is on the downtick of his career. we're trying to see which one of these young stars can take that next step into being that guy. You know what I'm saying? And I think this fight can help either one of these guys, Teofimo or Shakur Stevenson, be the face of boxing right now. I know a lot of people like David Benavidez, but even David Benavidez still hasn't had that fight to take him over the top to be the face of boxing, to be a household name. I think people know who David Benavidez is, but they don't know, like the casuals don't know who David Benavidez is. I still think they don't know who that is. I think that this fight can help Teofimo Lopez and Shakur Stevenson be that. And I think that's what I think boxing really needs that right now. That face that they can hit you on. They was trying to make Gervonta Davis that, but with his recent issues, it's hard to make that when you got domestic violence problems. You know what I'm saying? So you can't do that and make him the face of boxing. So these two guys, they're young, they're still young, they're still, in their prime. This could be that fight, right? This fight, and hopefully we get the Boots and Virgil Ortiz fight. Those would be the two fights that could show who's the next faces. Because I don't think it has to be one face. When we was coming up, it was, it wasn't just one face of boxing. You know what I'm saying? There was many faces of boxing. So I think that this can help out, put out there that new era of boxing. These are the faces of boxing right here. So
yeah.
That's my initial thought of this fight, man. I just suspect this is going to be a chess match. When they get in that ring, I expect a lot of trash talk. You know how Teofimo and Shakur, they're very cocky guys, very arrogant. They're very, confident in their skills, which they should be. You know what I'm saying? They're both elite fighters. So my initial thought is, man, I expect this fight to be high energy, high IQ, just, what I'm saying, athleticism at its best, just every inch of that ring is going to count. You know what I'm saying? So, and whoever flinches first, I think that's going to be the one that, initially folds. So, what's your initial thoughts on this fight?
No, I think stylistically, I think this is probably one of those top tier matches that I think everybody should tune into. Like you got a top tier puncher with a top tier boxer. You know what I mean? Like you're getting the both the best. I think you're going to see some great footwork. Nerd wise, I think you're going to see some great footwork. I think you're going to see some great mental games. You're going to obviously be seeing. It's going to be a great lead up this whole week for this fight. And then I think that New York crowd is going to be amazing. You know what I mean? Both of these guys, being from the area and stuff like that, it's going to be I think superstars are going to be out. This whole card is amazing. I cannot wait. I took the day off for this, so that's the level of excitement that I have. I think it's a great way to kick off the year for the first big boxing match. And you know me, I was a big fan of Teofimo Lopez. I still think he's a great fighter. Some things he said has kind of turned me off, but I can't sit here and disrespect the boxer that he is. Look, I think Shakur Stevenson should definitely be the favorite for this fight. I'm not going to pick my winner yet, but I think betting wise he should be the favorite. But this is going to be a closer fight than what people give it for. I think Teofimo Lopez can obviously win this fight as well. But the level of excitement that I have is through the roof for this, and I can't wait till Saturday. I can't wait. And if anybody is intrigued with boxing, please watch this fight. Please watch it. This is gonna be top tier.
Also, Keyshawn Davis versus Jermaine Ortiz is another fight that's not that's a 50-50 fight too. I don't think people are from, if you're a boxing fan, you are, but if you're not familiar with Jermaine Ortiz, he's one of them ones too. So this ain't gonna be an easy run for Keyshawn Davis, and I think this is his first fight at 140. So it's going to be interesting to see if he can handle that level of power, at that size. So
that Carlos Austin Williams fight I think is going to be really good. Obviously, we get Juju Carrington. He's in the building. We get Jarrell Miller. You know what I mean? I think I'm very interested to see how he does, especially with his last two fights that, he had a loss and then he had a draw. So, obviously we'll see. I think this card is stacked from top to bottom. I can't wait, man. I can't wait. But obviously we'll make our predictions on Wednesday. So
yeah, we'll talk about it on Wednesday for sure. All right, man. Let's recap the AFC NFC Championship game, man.
Let's do it.
All right, man. Let's talk about the New England Patriots beat the Denver Broncos 10-7. We all know that Broncos was coming in with their backup quarterback Jared Stidham, and we were going to be interested to see how Stidham does under this pressure, under this big scope of potentially getting to the Super Bowl. Can he overcome that? Could he do just enough with that defense to keep them afloat enough to win this game? And look, man, in the beginning, Broncos looked like they was rolling at first. You know what I'm saying? They had their first drive. He hits that 52-yard deep strike to Marvin Mims. Then he hits Cortland Sutherland in the end zone for a 6-yard touchdown to put them up 7-0. And it was like, all right, Denver come to play. They showed straight out, like, we ain't backing down. We good. Mm-hmm. There was a critical play in the second quarter where Denver had a 4th and 1 at New England's 14-yard line, and instead of kicking the field goal, they go for it. Mm-hmm. And they throw a pass to R.J. Harvey. It was incomplete. New England takes over, and then they march down the field and score a touchdown. Then in the second and third quarter, it was just the weather got bad. It got real bad. Neither team could, both kickers were missing field goals. They really couldn't get nothing going. Finally, New England put together a drive and they kicked the field goal and went up 10-7. And then ultimately, Denver had a chance with like 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter. They was trying to march down the field. And then ultimately, Jared Stidham, he throws an interception that was short. Christian Gonzalez, he timed it right, picked it off, and New England Patriots end up taking a knee down and running the clock out. And they won the game, and they are your AFC Championship winners. They will be going to Santa Clara to face their opponent. What were your thoughts on the game, sir?
Obviously, it wasn't the most entertaining game. Like, not to be disrespectful, I just thought it was kind of laughable pre-game where there was some people kind of stating that Stidham, could be this like quarterback that could come out of his shell and be this superstar talent that should be a starter. Show that he's been in the league for so long. He's not a starting quarterback. Like, yeah, I think he's a capable backup, but we got to remember, man, this man didn't play full. This man didn't throw a pass for 2 years, 2 years plus. And you guys are expecting him to come in this game, whether the weather was great or not. Like, he made a great throw to Mims down. I think it was like 50-yarder or something like that. It was a nice ball. Like, he throw some nice balls. I saw it with the Raiders, but we got to remember, man, like he's a backup quarterback for a reason. You know what I mean? That's no disrespect to him. I think Sean Payton kind of played himself. Like, I think he should have took the points. Mm-hmm. Go up 10-0. You saw the pressure that was on the Patriots because everybody expected them to win, especially with Bo Nix breaking his ankle. So that expectation for Drake May, which is, we still got to remember, this is his second year, his first full playoff run. Like, he's gonna look young at times, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? And for them to go up, for them to have an opportunity to go up 10-0 would have just added more pressure to this Patriots team. Then they get the turnover on downs, and then they were able to go down the field. And I think they got a field goal or something like that, but it just would have added more pressure onto that defense. So I think this is another example of Sean Payton think he's the smartest man in the room, outsmarting himself. And, we kind of saw that a little bit. But overall, man, defensively wise, you saw the talent on both sides of the defense, and the Patriots wise and the Denver Broncos. Obviously, the weather did play a factor. There was some slippage on the balls. Like, there was that moment where I think they were close to the goal line and they tried to do like a pitch to Ramondre Stevenson, but the pitch was kind of awkward and he couldn't get his foot in and ended up being like a loss down because Hufanga was able to get the tackle in the backfield. I didn't like that play call. I feel like you just kind of wasted it down with that, especially in that weather. Why would you kind of risk doing a trick play with that? You want to kind of, be secure with what's going on. I feel like there could have been more situations where I think some of these guys, like the play calling was just, I get it. The weather was bad, but I think they played it a little too safe sometimes. Like, they just kept trying to run the ball, even though there was no opportunities. I think at this moment in time, where it's the fourth quarter, there's no rhythm, try to take a chance. You know what I mean? Especially the Denver Broncos. Like, at least take a chance trying to throw the ball down the field. And I think they tried to do that. He ended up getting the pick off, but I think it was just kind of a bad play. But overall, man, congrats to the Patriots on winning an ugly game. I think they'll play a lot better in the Super Bowl, but congrats to them.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. All right, let's go to the NFC Championship game, which was way more exciting, way more high stakes, way more firepower, fireworks. Um, the first half of the game, it was first quarter it was good back and forth. Rams got the ball first. Seattle marched down the field. It was all Kenneth Walker in that first drive, and he capped it off with a touchdown. Then it was back-to-back field goals, another field goal by LA. Then the Rams finally put together a drive to march down the field, get a touchdown. They went up 13-10. And then finally, before the half ended, Seattle got a touchdown with Jackson Smith and Jigba, who was incredible in that first half. And he had like 6 catches for 7 catches for 125 yards in the first half. It was all him. He had a crazy one-hand catch too. But he ended up scoring and making it 13-17. Then going into the second half, top of the third quarter, Seattle punched the football, and this has been a problem with the Rams all season with their special teams. The guy muffs the punt. Seattle gets the ball back, and they capitalize with a touchdown. But LA answers back with a drive. They score with Devontae Adams, but then Seattle comes right back. They score a touchdown, but then the Rams come back and they score a touchdown. So that third quarter was just crazy alone. It was 4 straight touchdowns. Then in the fourth quarter, I think, it kind of was more of a defensive thing. Seattle had to punt the ball. LA, they got into the red zone. They went for it, and they ended up not getting it. And Seattle ended up getting the ball, pretty much running the clock out. And Rams didn't get the ball until probably 11 seconds left, and pretty much it was no time left. And Seattle ended up winning, holding on to the lead, 31-27. There was I think it was in the third quarter. I think it was Tyreek Woolen. He had an almost pick. He dropped it. Then he kind of taunted the sideline. At first, the ref was going to let him slide, but he kept going, and he threw the flag, got the 15-yard penalty, and ultimately that's when they got that touchdown. But outside of that, it didn't end up costing them the game, and Seattle was going to the Super Bowl, man. What's your thoughts?
Obviously, this was the best game of the whole entire day.
This was the Super Bowl.
I don't know. I think people are sleeping on the opportunity of what the Patriots and Seahawks can bring to the table. I think it's going to be, but I think at the end of the day, look, I'll say this: like the muff punt was huge. They got to stop, and then I don't know what my man was doing. He was kind of leaning back. Like, at that point, bro, if you don't think you can catch it, just step aside, bro. Just step aside. I get it. You don't want to be put in a bad situation, but your offense is smart enough where I think they could have got out of that. So that was kind of a key moment. Obviously, Woolen was he was an idiot, and then I don't know why he was fighting with his homie on the side. I think it was I can't pronounce his name, Amano, or I don't know how you say his last name. I don't want to butcher it, but bro, just take the L, bro. Just just be like, yo, I messed up. I failed my team. Like, you can say whatever you want to me. Like, yeah, you can call me every name in the book. Like, yeah, I messed up. Like, I'll own up to it, and I'm gonna try to pay back on that.
And I don't even think it was just a penalty. It was because the next play after that, he got scored on.
Yeah, he got cooked. And honestly, I think that was such an ingenious play by McVay and Stafford. Like, look, man, this man is kind of taken out of the game right now. Let's go after him. You know what I mean? And you saw it. Like, he got cooked off of one move from Puka Nacua. And so, like, that was a big moment. I thought I said that if you were with me, Cris, on Sunday, you would have heard this the whole time after this. And I said this to everybody that was there. I hated that play call when they took Nacua and Devontae Adams out, and on that second down play when they were near that goal line where they could have took the lead, and you took out your 2 star players to do a bullshit run play. You wasted a complete down for what? Like, at the end of the day, yo, this is for the Super Bowl. I'm sorry. I do not care, Puka. I do not care, Devontae. You're not coming off that field. Because, number one, Puka Nacua is like one of the best run blocking wide receivers in the league. Why would you take him out? Just even if you're not going to give him the ball, even though you're going to run that play, do a running play, at least have him and Davante Adams in there to at least show somewhat of maybe there might be a play action pass for a throw. You take both of them out, and I have no idea who is the wide receiver. It was like some white boy with long hair. The Seahawks knew you weren't throwing the ball, so they're going to commit to the run. Like, that shit made no sense at all. And then on top of that, Matthew Stafford, Sean McVay, for the fourth down play, why are you throwing it to your tight end? Throw it up. Give Davante Adams a chance. Give Puka Nacua a chance. Create some kind of play. Like, even though it looked like Davante Adams was covered in that corner post, throw him the ball. Give him the opportunity. That's what you brought him there for. Like, why are you throwing to these tight ends? These tight ends were dropping the ball all goddamn day. Like, I hated that play call. This is another example of head coaches who are great head coaches. No disrespect to Sean Payton, no disrespect to Sean McVay. You guys are some of the greatest, smartest offensive minds, but sometimes you outsmart yourself. I hated that. Third one, that was not a goddamn catch. I'm sorry, the NFL has credibility issues right now. They really do with this catching shit. That was not a catch from Cooper Kupp. I'm sorry. If that was a catch from Cooper Kupp, then I'm sorry. The Brandon Cooks was a catch. And then how like, that you make no sense. And then on top of that, you guys don't even try to go to replay to make sure you get the call right. You guys try to get these plays off real quick when in instance, like, you should be going to replay. New York, call it down. Like, yo, let's make sure we get this right. Now, I'm not going to sit here. Do I think the Rams got cheated on that play? Absolutely. Am I going to sit here and cry a river? No, because the Rams benefited against the Saints with that terrible non-pass interference call. So it's kind of like you kind of got to reap what you sow. You kind of benefited from one end. Now you got to kind of eat it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to be honest with you. They need to resolve this. What's a catch? What's not a catch? Because it's so damn confusing, and they pick and choose when it is a catch, when it's not a catch. It's terrible. I'm sorry. You got a credibility issue with that play, and you need to figure it out, because it's the most important thing of football is catching the goddamn football, but you guys can't make up your mind what a catch is. You guys can't. We saw it with the TO play. We saw it with the play with when it was the Steelers against the Patriots, when he dove for it. He caught the ball, then dove, but then the ball bounced out of his hands, and you guys said that was incomplete. So like, what are we doing? Then the Brandon Cooks was a completed pass, but then he was touched on the ground, but then homie ripped it out of his hands after he rolled around. So that was an interception, which made no sense. Like, and then all of a sudden now you're going to say that Cooper Kupp, who caught it, was tackled immediately, turned around, and then when he landed, the ball comes out of his hands, and you guys telling me that's a catch? Like, come on, dog. It's a credibility issue they need to work on and fix, because this is terrible. And I wouldn't be surprised if that situation is the result of who wins the Super Bowl in 2 weeks. I wouldn't be surprised. But shout out to Kenneth Walker. I'll be honest with you. My sleeper pick for Super Bowl MVP is Kenneth Walker. He's my Super Bowl sleeper for a fun pick.
Yeah, he was balling. Him and Jackson Smith and Jigman, man, they're different.
They're different. Shout out to the Seahawks, though.
But shout out to Puka Nacua and Davante Adams, even though they didn't give Davante Adams one more reception.
Huh?
Messed me out of $2,000. But we ain't gonna talk about that.
I don't know, man. Shout out to the Seahawks, though. I know, my homie, my brother. Shout out to my boy DeLon. He a big Seahawks fan. I saw him last night, man. So congrats to him, man. He's super excited, man. So
that's what's up. All right, man. That's it, man. All right, man. You got anything else?
I'll say this real quick. Exciting night for college basketball. Mark kind of said it with the BYU. We got BYU versus Arizona. We got Louisville versus Duke. So we're going to see a lot of great draft prospects from AJ DeBonsa, Cameron Boozer. We got Mikael Brown Jr. It's going to be, and then obviously KO Pete. Watch college basketball. If you ain't, obviously, no NFL, you got some NBA. If you ain't got nothing to do, if you want to watch some sports, watch college basketball tonight. It's going to be amazing, amazing sports tonight for sure.
We also got the big matchup, BYU versus Kansas on Saturday.
Yeah, man. So we got some exciting hoops, man, coming up, man. I know there's people out there, a little bit, sad, they're getting into their NFL sadness, because the season's getting over. You'll be all right. Like, be all right. We're getting into draft season, but NBA and college basketball is gonna be up this year. So I think
Also,
stay tuned.
shout out to my Mizzou Tigers. Back-to-back buzzer beaters against Oklahoma. Going to overtime and to win overtime. Shout out to the Tigers, dog.
Yeah, shout out to them. Shout out to them. Shout out to them.
All right, man. Who gets your flowers of the week?
So my flowers of the week. Obviously, I'm gonna give it to Derrick Rose. Obviously with his retirement, man. Congratulations to him. Obviously, I'm also gonna give my flowers to. Obviously, this is the 6-year anniversary of that fatal helicopter crash with Kobe, Gigi, obviously John Altobelli, Carrie Altobelli, Elisa Altobelli, Christina Mauser, Sarah Chester, Peyton Chester, and Ara Zaban. Prayers out to everybody, all those families. You know, obviously that was a terrible day for a lot of people. I remember where I was at, so shout out to them. And then obviously, one of the bigger ones for sure, I'm gonna give my flowers to Alex Petty. Obviously, we know the situations that is going on in Minnesota. Sad situation out there. So I want to give my flowers to him, an ICU nurse that worked for the VA, who was murdered on the streets of Minnesota over the weekend. So I want to give my flowers to him and prayers to his family and that community who's going through all the unnecessary violence in that community. So prayers out to him.
For sure. Definitely. I want to give my flowers to the UNLV dance team. They had the nationals this past weekend, and they ended up getting first place in hip hop, in the hip hop genre. They came in first place over LSU and Cincinnati. I saw a lot of people commenting on it. I even watched their finals. You know, they fire. They do their thing, man. But shout out to them, man, for getting first place in there. You know, you gotta celebrate hometown, man. You know what I'm saying? Gotta show love. It's not just basketball, football. We love UNLV as a whole, so gotta celebrate them. So shout out to them, man. They was on the news the other day too, so gotta give them their flowers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm tripping. I also want to give my flowers to my mother. It's her birthday yesterday. I gotta show love to my moms and stuff. So shout out to her. Happy birthday, Mom.
Dukes.
I love you.
Mom Dukes.
Love you very much. Hope you have fun in LA. I know you probably out there with my sister and my brother. So shout out to you, Mom. Love you.
Yeah, happy birthday to Mom Dukes. Don't get too wild out there in them streets.
All right, man. Who gets your hell no?
2K, man. Y'all getting my hell no, bro. 2K, man. I'm tired of that company. They need to defund 2K. I'm tired of that company. I'm tired of NBA 2K. I'm tired of them robbing the community. I'm tired of them not doing anything for my team. I'm over it, man. I can't deal with this organization. I try to love this video game. I really do. But my God, man, y'all sapped all the love I have out of basketball video games for a very long time, man. I got to detox myself out of this. I just can't do it, man. I can't do it no more. I'm trying to get into more. I'm trying to get in different games, man. I've been trying to play a little bit more Arc Raiders. Obviously, I'm super excited for Resident Evil to come out next month. But I got to weed myself off of 2K, man. This company is some of the worst, man, ever, man. With its microtransactions and stuff like that. I hate that company. So they get my hell no. They always will get my hell no.
This is why I'm gonna give myself a pat on the back. Because Chris, I stood firm. I told your ass I wasn't buying that game, and I'm not gonna buy that game. It's not gonna suck me. It's not gonna get me. Not.
Yeah.
All right, my hell no goes to Serena Cristia. You don't know who that is. That is the tennis player that went against Naomi Osaka. She was getting her ass kicked by Naomi, and you know what I'm saying, she was celebrating a little bit. And I guess it's an unwritten rule. We're gonna have to have a discussion about unwritten rules that we think are stupid. But that's another pod for another day. But I'm just saying, I guess an unwritten rule. You can't talk in between the points and all that stuff. And Osaka was hyping herself up. She just gotta win. You know what I'm saying? And the old girl was complaining against at the judge, and the side judge was like, "It's fine. I ain't got no problem with it. Like, she can do that." Like, and she got mad and ended up losing. when when they meet in the middle of the court, they shake hands. She voiced her displeasure at Naomi Osaka, and I'm just getting sick of these tennis players having this entitlement thing because they think because they're the best or whatever, they're one of the top tennis players, and they're getting their ass kicked. They can't handle it.
You realize it's only with one particular type of person they always have attitude with. I'm just saying, anytime we see it, it's always with a black woman, dog. They always be tripping. It is. They always do.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all always get tripping on. I think it happened to Coco. Yeah, in 1 year. You know what I'm saying?
Naomi,
when it was the other black chick that it happened to, it was another black chick. It was another black chick recently that happened to. I forgot her name. I'm sorry for not remembering your name.
I know who you're talking about. I forgot her name though. She's pretty cute too. No, yeah. I know I'm not trying to sexualize her, but I'm just being honest. She's very beautiful woman. They're honestly all of them are. They're all very beautiful women. So
they are. Well, I'm just saying there was another. I think it was last year. It was another.
I know who you're talking about. I forgot her name. She she kind of like not light skin, but I know she brown skin with colored eyes. I know you're talking about.
Yeah. It was an incidents like that, where these Russian or whatever they are, European white women, get mad because they getting their ass kicked by a black woman.
Yeah,
and this got to be, y'all got to just take y'all L's, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a new era in tennis. It's been a new era in tennis. Venus and Serena had been took over for years, and then Serena had a run that she's one of the greatest athletes of all time, of any sport. Probably top 5 for what the run that she went on, because when she was healthy, y'all wasn't beating Serena. When she was healthy, y'all wasn't beating Serena.
No.
So I'm just saying, y'all got to tighten up, man. Chill out, take your L, shake hands, and move on. Because I guarantee you, if it was another European girl that did the same thing, you wouldn't have complained. You just went about your business. You'd have shook her hands. Oh, good game. And then you went off and did your thing. And even Naomi Osaka, she took the high road, apologized to you. I don't think she had to do that, but I get it. But I'm just saying, you get hell no.
I got one more hell no. Real quick. Whoever is trying to spark this debate on who was bigger between Beyonce and Michael Jackson, they need to stop. Just stop. I don't care who it is in today's age. You can tell me Taylor. You can try to do Taylor Swift. You could try to do Bad Bunny. You could try to do Jay-Z. You could try to do Drake. No one compares to Michael Jackson, dog. No one will ever be Michael Jackson,
bro. The movie trailers is getting people going crazy.
I'm being honest with you. Ever. That will never happen again. Michael Jackson was a true one of one. Let's stop trying to erase history and what Michael Jackson used to have entire cities in fucking like shambles, man. We're talking about people fainting. They just see the car drive by and people are fainting. They see a fucking like unseasoned hand coming out of that goddamn window. They are fainting. This man dangled a baby off a balcony and they were fainting, not because of the baby almost being dropped, because they saw Michael Jackson. Like, Michael was different, dog. Like, stop comparing, man. Stop comparing, please.
I've been saying that.
And then real quick, you can end this, but before you get into the rest of stuff, I want to play this one video because I know we're pretty short. We only done like an hour. I want to do one video. I want to get your opinion about what this lady said, but I'll let you end it. I'll let you end it. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh my God, bro. Oh hell no, man. What the fuck, man? Get your ass on, boy. You get your goddamn ugly ass on.
All right, go ahead.
All right, let me see if I can find this video real quick. Hold on. Where's this at? Where's this video at? Damn, where's it go? My bad, people. Where did the video go?
Talking about she told black tennis player Tyler Townsend she had no class. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one, Mark.
Let me see.
Yeah.
Damn, what happened to the video? I thought I saved this video.
What's it about?
It was this lady going off. Let me see. I bookmarked it. Oh, here we go. I'm gonna play this real quick.
Unless her father takes the
All right, here we go.
Yes, I am the mother who is not allowing her daughter to go to Disneyland unless her father's side of the family takes the rest of the kids. I have 6 kids total, 4 different fathers, okay? My daughter was invited to Disneyland by her father's side of the family. Now, her father was once the rest of the kids' stepfather, okay? These kids called him dad at one point in their life. He invited my daughter to go to Disneyland. I told him, you are taking the other 5 kids or she is not going. There's no possible way I am going to allow one of my children to go to Disneyland. Could you imagine being 10 years old, seeing your sister pack to go to Disneyland and the rest of the kids can't go? Just because I made poor choices, I am not going to punish my children for those poor choices. You can hate on me. It don't matter to me. My daughter is not going to Disneyland unless her father takes the rest of the kids. Period.
All right. So what are your thoughts with that? I want to get your thoughts. You got the kids.
I ain't got that situation.
Not that situation, but I just want to get your opinion.
I'm going to Disneyland. All 4 of them going. They ain't my kids. It depends on if he has a relationship still with those other kids.
Mm-hmm.
Like if he's still like acting like an active father in their lives, then I kind of get where she's coming from because you're kind of sending mixed signals to the other kids. Like if you're actively saying, because like she said, he was in their lives. He was acting like a father to them. They call him dad. And I get it. It's stepdad. But once you make that choice to be in their lives like that, that's tough. You know what I'm saying? And I get it. The one child is your child. And legally, that is your obligation. Even though once you marry somebody, and I don't know about the last name, did they take his last name? I don't know all the details of their relationship. So that would be something that she would have to present. Like, is he still active in their lives? Because if he's still active in their lives, then I get where she's coming from. Because that's, like I said, that's in a mixed signal. Like you're actively acting like a father in their lives. You know what I'm saying? And then you say, oh, I'm going to take my biological daughter to Disneyland. Even though I get it, Disneyland is expensive. But I'm just saying, like, if she's saying that he's actively in their lives and then he does that, then I get where she's coming from. But if they have separated from each other, divorced, whatever, and he is only interacting with her, then no, he's not obligated to take those kids to Disneyland.
Well, I could have swore she said it was the ex. So I don't think they're currently together.
Well, they're not together. I'm just saying, like, that's why I'm saying, like, if there is the ex, and I get where I know where you're about to go with this, and I'm not disagreeing.
You know where I'm about to go.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
Yeah,
but I'm just saying, if you're a child and the man that claimed that was acting like a father in your life, and he's still acting like that, like, to me, that's in a mixing. Like, if you're gonna cut bait, and just be active in the one's life.
I hear you. I think it also depends on how long they've been together. Like, if it was like a situation where they were together for like 10, 15 years and stuff like that, maybe. But at the end of the day, it doesn't sound like it, though, to me. Like, at the end of the day, those were your decisions when you got 4 baby mamas. Now, the decision for him to be with this lady, knowing that she had 4 baby mamas. But at the end of the day, once they're not together, I'm sorry, he's not obligated to say. He's obligated to his one child.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Like, he has that right to choice to be like, look, I want to take my daughter. Like, that's my daughter. Like, whatever it could be. I don't know. It could be like a special occasion. It could be, I don't know if it's like for her birthday. I don't know if it's for like, they do family trips or something like that. Maybe it's something that her grandparents want her to be a part of or something like that. That's his right and his choice to be able to take his daughter. I understand that you build relationship with these other kids that may not be your fathers, but they have fathers. If they want to go to Disneyland, they're more than welcome to take them. Now, if she really wants them to go so bad, then you can fork over the bread for these said other kids that aren't my babies, and you can be like, look, I'll pay for them to go. Okay, cool. They're more than welcome to come. I'm not paying for other people's kids to go to Disneyland. I'm sorry. Number one, I may not be financially be able to do that. I can at least take my kid, but I'm not financially responsible for these other kids. Yes, I might have been stepdaddy, but financially, I'm not responsible. I'm responsible for my daughter. No disrespect to these little kids. I understand what people are saying, and certain people are saying, like, yo, you don't want to be rude to. It's the reality of the situation. It really is. I'm sorry. And she doesn't have the right to deny that. You know what I mean? As long as he's being a great father to his kids, who is around. Obviously, I don't know the situations of who has the kid more and all that. I don't know. But obviously, he is definitely trying to be in his kids' lives. So why would you deny that? At the end of the day, I understand the disappointment level, you seeing your sister or whoever going to Disneyland and you not having that opportunity. Well, said mother, you are the mother of said all 5 of these kids. So if you really want them to go that bad, then you fork over the financial needs to do that. And I have no problem bringing that, or at least meet me in the middle. Like, well, all right, cool. Like, I know I have relationships. I'll pay for some of their stuff, but you got to at least either get their fathers to donate some cash for this upcoming trip, or you could pay out your right as well. And I ain't trying to be cold, but that's just the reality shit. He don't owe those kids nothing. That's the reality.
Yeah.
That was your choice. That was your choice to have 4 different baby fathers.
I don't disagree at all. Because like I said, I don't know the context of how long he was in their lives. You know what I'm saying? It might have been the duration of how long his biological daughter was in this world. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. So,
and we don't even know how he responded to that. He could have been like, look, I'll take all 4 kids. I can do it. I don't care. I love these kids. I'm going to do it. He has that right to do that too. But I also think he has the right to be like, I just want to take my daughter. You know what I mean?
And it probably was more
Either
so.
way, I don't think people should be upset if you don't want to.
And even if he did say that, it was probably that side of the family. Like, we just want to take.
We just want to take. We want to spend time with our daughter. That's not. Those are not.
Baby,
all love to those kids, but those aren't our babies. She's our baby. You know what I mean? And that's just the reality of the situation. You know.
So
I thought it was interesting.
Yeah, for sure. All right, man. We look at the screen, you'll see the QR code for the WWE shop. Go ahead and scan that code. Get all your latest merch from all your WWE superstars, from Cody Rhodes, Jacob Fatu, Drew McIntyre, CM Punk, Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, Charlotte Flair, and various other superstars. Get your merch right now. And if you want to donate to the Chris Mall podcast, you can donate to Chris Mall podcast at our Cash app. We appreciate whatever you donate to us. Whatever streaming platform you use, whether it be Spotify, Apple, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, whatever you use, we appreciate you. Subscribe to us, follow us. Also, first-time watchers on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, that like button, that notification button. So when we go live on Mondays at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time and Wednesday, 9-ish p.m. Pacific Standard Time, you can jump in the live with us. You can talk about these topics just like Mark does every Monday and Wednesday, man. Give us your opinion. Let us know how you feel, man. How you feel about the AFC NFC Championship game. How you felt about the Mike McCarthy hire. If you're a Steelers fan, NBA news, all of it. You know what I'm saying? Give us your opinion. We want to hear from you. If you're listening on the playback, leave a comment in the comment section. And whatever social media platform you use, whether it be X, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, Facebook, Twitch, whatever you use. Follow us at Cris Lamar. We will follow you back. We're just some regular guys who like to talk sports, music, movies, and all kinds of various other things. Also, if you have critiques or feedback, or if you have a question or topic, like say a question or topic, we will bring it up. We will shout you out because we want to show love to those who show love to us. So go ahead and hit us up via DM, emails, or our mention. All right, good people. Until Wednesday, hope you guys have a good few days, man. Wednesday show, we will get into more of the Shakur and Shakur Stevenson, Teofimo Lopez card. Also get into some NBA stuff. Maybe even get some start talking some college basketball stuff.
Yeah, college basketball, talk about it. We'll get my man's thoughts on Royal Rumble coming up this weekend as well. So.
Yeah. We got the Royal Rumble coming up this weekend. I got some thoughts on that too. So until Wednesday, we are out.